Thanks. So we have already discussed two jumping statements. One is break and one is continue. Break means it will terminate the loop body or switch body. And the break statement can be used inside a switch block or inside a loop. Continue can only be used within a loop. You cannot use continue in your switch case statement. That is one of the difference that you need to remember. If someone asks you what is the difference, and most important thing that you need to remember, continue will not break the loop execution, or so what he will do, he will skip the remaining statement execution and continue with the next iteration. And break means it will terminate the loop. Now we are going to discuss GOTO statement. Even though GOTO is available in C# or in .NET framework, it is not recommended to use GOTO statement because it makes the program confusing, less readable. It makes your program more complex. It is difficult to understand the code. It is difficult to do unit testing, right? So this all all the problematic feature you will get if you use GOTO statement in your program. As this is available, we are going to show you how to use it, but it is not recommended to use GOTO statement in your program. So what is GOTO? It's a keyword, and by using this keyword, we can pass the control anywhere in the program in the local scope. Local scope means within a method body, right? So within a function, you can use this GOTO statement and you can pass the control from one location to another location within a function, right? When you are working with the GOTO statement, it required an identifier called label. What is label? That we will discuss. So what is label and what is the use of label, that we'll discuss. But it is an identifier, and as it is an identifier, it is follow the naming convention of identifier. So how you are defining a variable, how you are defining a method, how you are defining a class interface, like the way the same thing is going to be available to define a label. That means it should not be start with digit. No special characters are allowed except underscore. Alphanumeric character you can put. These rule and regulations are also followed here. So basically you need to create a label. So whenever you are working with a GOTO statement, it is called an unstructured control flow statement because it breaks the rule of structural programming. What it means now, unstructured flow. It is that you can control the flow from one location to another, right? You can move the control from top to bottom. You can move the control from bottom to top, right? So on structural flow, you can move the control from one location to another location. But the thing is that within a function only, within a local scope only. Within a method, you can move the control from one location to another. You can move the control from top statement to bottom statement, that is from statement 10 to statement 20, and you can also move the control from statement 25 to statement 15 also. That is also possible. As it is not a structural programming, so it is not recommended by Microsoft to use, right? The GOTO statement is rarely used because it makes the program more confusing, less readable, complex, and also when it is the control of the program won't be easy to trace, and it makes testing and debugging is difficult, right? Whenever you are going to develop any real-time application, two things is mandatory. First of all, you should write unit test for your code. So unit test is mandatory for any kind of a development. Whether you are developing any web application or web API or a desktop application, even though unit testing is important, right? Unit testing means it will going to test your function, whether your function is performing the appropriate performing as expected or not. Suppose you are calling one method and you are saying that this is my expected output. You know, if you are giving some input and you know what output you should get, and you know what is your expected output and what is your actual output, right? So if the expected output and what the output you are getting from the method, if both are same, then the test is passed. If both are not same, then test is failed. So unit testing is important. So if you have a same, sometimes just try to learn unit testing. And second thing is, if you are developing any application, if you are unable to debug the code, then it doesn't make sense, because you don't know if you are developing any application, you might be get some error. And the best friend of solving an error is debugging. And if you are unable to debug your code, then how you will solve your code? So debugging should be there. And if you are using GOTO statement, then these two things are very difficult because you cannot debug your code properly and you cannot write unit test code for your, right? So that you need to remember. Now, let us observe the flowchart. So first of all, the syntax is like this. So here you need to create one label, and within the label you need to write your statement. And if you want to jump from this place to your label, so you have to write go to label, and once you write go to label, this dotted statement what we have written, those will be skipped, and the control will directly jump from this location to this location. And once it jump to this location, whatever statement written after the colon is going to be executed, right? See, so your program execution start. You are having some statement 1, 2, statement 1, 2, 3 like this. And this is your level 1, this is your level 2, and this is your level 3. And here, if you are writing go to level 3, then from this statement, the control directly jump to this statement. It will skip this level 1 and level 2. Is that clear? So in your application, you might be write more than one level. It's possible that you have written only one level. We'll see writing multiple level. We'll see writing one level, and how the GOTO statement work. We'll see everything in practical, right? But for now, just remember when you write go to level 3, that means from this location, it will directly jump to level 3. And in this case, suppose you write go to level 2, then the control will directly jump from this location to this location, level 2. And from here, it will execute the statement which are written inside level 2. Even it is also execute the statement which are written inside the level 3 also. Right from this, it is sequentially execute all the statement present after the level 2. Whether it is another level or not, that doesn't matter. It is going to execute. But this statement is not going to be executed. But if you write go to level 1, then it will start executing from level 1 only. So the statement written inside level 1, statement written inside level 2, statement written inside level 3, all are going to be executed if you write go to level 1. If you write level 2, so the statement written inside level 2, level 3 are going to be executed. And if you write go to level 3, only the statement written inside level 3 is going to be executed. The statement written inside level 1 and level 2 is not going to be executed. And how to create label? You just need to give one identifier, that is label and column. This is your label. And how to move the control from one location to another location, just by writing go to label. So if the label name is you can say ABC, then you have to write go to ABC. If your label name is XYZ123, then you need to write go to XYZ123. When you write go to XYZ123, the control will directly jump to this XYZ123 level, and the statement written after this colon is going to be executed. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And one more thing that you need to remember, C# programming language is a case-sensitive language. What it means, you cannot create the same label multiple times, but you can suppose you are having one label capital ABC. You can create only that label only once, ABC. But if you write capital A small bc, it is acceptable because both are two different things. So case sensitive. So case uppercase and lowercase are two different things that you need to understand. Let us see one example. See, in this case, I'm writing this go to level 1. So this is my level 1. This is my label. And here I'm writing go to level 1. So go to level 1. So from this statement, the control will directly jump to this place. And the statement which is written inside this level is this one. It's going to be executed. And whatever statement after written this level, all are going to be executed. So this statement is also going to be executed. But this statement is not going to be executed. Right? Now let's run the application in debug mode. So first statement is executed. This go to label is executed. So directly once it executes this statement, the control jumps to this. So this statement is skipped. And even you can also see if you are writing go to level 1, it is showing you some warning. Okay. Now application is debugging mode, so you are unable to see the warning. But once we complete debugging the application, I will show you what the warning message. So it is something like unreachable code. So if you are writing this code, then the compiler will give you warning message start. So this code is unreachable. It doesn't make any sense to write the code because this code is not going to be executed at any point of time. Then if this code is not going to be executed at any point of time, then what is the meaning of writing this statement? So this is this doesn't make any sense to write the code, right? So now the control from this location jumps to this location, and this is your colon, right? This is your colon. So after the colon, whatever statement you have written, all are going to be executed. So this is the statement executed, this statement executed, this statement is executed. So you can see first statement, third statement, end of the main method. This is first statement, this is third statement, this is end of the main method. Right? So you can see here you are getting some error message, unreachable code. So this code is not going to be reached any point of time. Then what is the meaning of writing this code? Then what you will think that, okay, let's remove this code. Right? Then you will think that this remove this code. If you are removing this code, does it make sense to execute these two statements? It doesn't make any sense, because if you are not executing this two statements, then also these are going to be executed, right? That's why Microsoft recommended not to use GOTO statement. You understood or not? If I'm removing this statement, removing this comment line, then it is saying that this is unreachable code. This code is never reached by the compiler and by the CLR at runtime. So this statement is not going to be executed at any point of time when you run the application. If this statement is never going to be executed, does it make a sense to write the statement? Yes or no?
No.
No. If I am not writing this statement, then I can comment this one also or not. If I comment this one, now you guys only tell me, does it make sense to write this two statement?
No, it's just going to continue down there anyway without
Right.
the label.
Yeah, so you can comment this, and once you run, then you will get the first statement, third statement, and end of the main method as output. Right. So this is the reason why Microsoft not recommended to use GOTO statement. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Now, so it is also possible that we can have multiple level in a method. See, here I'm writing multiple levels. Right. So here I'm writing this level 2. And as soon as I type level 2, you can see this is unreachable. This code is never going to be reached. You can see this code is never going to be reached. And you can see this level has not been referenced. So has not been referenced. Not referenced means they are not going to be used. If they are not going to be reused, then is that matter to write the code? No, doesn't make any sense, because they are not going to be reached means they are not going to be executed. Okay, let's run the application and see the output. See, as I told you earlier, so level 2 means the program execution start from here only. So first statement is executed. The second statement, it is not going to execute. We have provided level 2. Level 2 means from here the program execution start. Here program execution start means fourth statement is executed. After then, it doesn't matter whether it is a label or not. All the statement is going to be executed. See, fifth statement is executed and this statement is executed. Even if you write level 2, this statement, fifth statement is going to be executed. Now you just tell me, does it matter to write level 3 here?
No.
No. So you can remove this one. Now tell me, when you write level 2, then the program execution will start from here and all the statements are executed. Does it matter to write these 3 statements? you can simply remove this statement because they are not going to be executed at any point of time in your code. So second statement, third statement, they are not going to be executed. So just remove them. Now you just tell me, does it make sense to write these two statements? If I'm not writing, then also these statements are going to be executed. Na? Then why I'm going to write these two statements? It doesn't matter. So you can skip this. So Microsoft recommended not using the GOTO statement, but if you use, it will also work. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. Now, suppose I'm writing this statement. And see, one more important thing, is there any label with the name 5? No. If you are referring to a label which doesn't exist in your current scope, see, I'm creating another method, void static some method. And within some method, I have some statement. Static one. Static some method. And here I'm writing label 5. See, here I'm writing label 5, but I'm referring label 5 from here. But it is giving me error because this GOTO statement will access the label in the local scope. So when I'm saying local scope means this open and close curly braces. This label is defined within the main method. So the label should be present within the main method. It cannot access a label which is defined in another method. Right? Is that clear? What do you mean by local scope? Local scope means the method or the function where the label is defined, you can access the label using the GOTO statement. If the label is defined in another method, then you cannot access because there is no chance that from here the program can jump to this location. It is going to be accessed only the label which are defined within this local scope or within this method body. Is that clear? And if you are accessing a label which doesn't exist, then immediately you will get an error that no such label within the scope of the GOTO statement. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. See, why I'm saying this code is very dangerous. See, now I'm writing level 5. It is going to this statement, right? What will happen? See, it is going to be infinite loop. Why? Because it will start executing here. Because if you have not write a GOTO statement, then it will execute sequentially. It will execute this statement. It will execute this statement. From here, it is calling the GOTO level 5. From level 5, it will call this method. Right? From level 5, it will call this method. So in this way, it will start executing the loop body. Now, see, sometimes what happens, people are saying, can you print 1 to 10 without using for loop? Yes, we can. See how integer I equals to 1. I have written this statement. And here I'm printing the I value. I'm printing the I value. So this will print the I value. Yes or no? I value is print. Then go to level 5. But here I can provide the condition that if I value is less than 10, then only print the level. Then only go to the level. So now
Gonna be infinite. You never incremented the ISO.
we have missed this one. Right? Or even you can put that here also. See now. So some of the written interview and in interview them, I ask you question. Can you print 1 to 10 without using a loop? Yes or no? Now you will got some idea how to do the same thing. This thing is available in C and C++. Right? So without using a loop, you can achieve the loop functionality by using this GOTO label statement. But this is not recommended because it makes your code more confusing. Instead of writing this, it is better to use a loop. But if so, to test your logical thinking, right? Whether you have some idea or not, if the loop is not there, and if you want to achieve the loop functionality, then how you can do this? You can do this by using this GOTO label statement. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine. Now, even though we can also execute use this GOTO statement within a loop also. See, previously we have discussed the break statement. Now, what I'm doing now, when I value become 5, instead of writing go break statement, I'm writing go to exit level. So this is my exit level defined here. And once I value becomes 5, I can write like this. It is also going to do the same thing. But the problem is that in this case, this statement is not going to be executed. If I'm writing a break statement, then it will start executing from here. But if I'm writing exit level, then it will skip this statement. It will start executing from this statement only. Is that clear? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then once I value become 5, for 1, 2, 3, 4, this I value print, one I value become 5, it will execute this exit level, the control directly jump to this statement, and this statement is print. And this statement is skipped. Is that clear? How to use GOTO statement inside a loop? Now, instead of GOTO, if you write break statement, then also it is going to work. It will only print the value 1 to 4. But in this case, this statement is going to be executed and this statement is also going to be executed. See the output. Next statement placed after loop, label state. Next statement after loop and this label state. These two statements are going to be used. So the meaning of break statement is to terminate the loop. The meaning of a GOTO statement is not to terminate the loop. Instead, it will move your program execution from one location to another location. If you are putting this statement inside the loop, it is fine. If you move this statement inside the loop, then also it is fine. See, in this case, what we'll do, okay. So in this case, see what will happen. So 1, level 2, level 4, level 5, level like this, it will print the statement, right? So it will not terminating the loop, right? When this statement is executed, then it will come to this place. It will execute this statement. From this statement, again the loop is going to be executed. But if you are using break statement, means it will terminate the loop. There is no chance to continue execution of the loop. So GOTO statement is not terminating your loop, right? What is the use of a GOTO statement means? It is just moving the program execution flow from one location to another location. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, even you can also use the GOTO statement within your switch case. See, instead of a break, what I am doing here, go to case 5. So if I use break, then it will terminate the switch body. That we already discussed. If this break statement is executed after printing this number, if the break statement is executed, once this statement execute, it will terminate the loop body, right? So, okay, let me give one statement here. So this is end of main method, right? Now, So here I'm providing the number as 20. So 20 means this case block is going to be executed. So after printing case 20, it will execute the go to case 5. So from here, the control again come to this case 5. And here it will print the case 5 and then only it will break the statement. Now see the output. Case 5, case 20, case 5, then end of the program. Now let us debug the program for better understanding. Right? So switch number is 20. So function F10 key. So it will come to the case number 20. From 20, I'm executing go to case 5. So case 5 is nothing but your label. Right? Go to label. Label is nothing but your case 5. So it will move to case 5 or not. And once it execute the statement inside the case 5, and once it execute the break statement, and the break statement functionality, we know it will terminate the switch or it will terminate the loop. In this case, it is a switch. So it will terminate the switch body and directly it will come to the end of the switch body, and the statement present after the switch block is going to be executed. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Clear or not? If anybody having any doubt, they can ask. And you should avoid using go to statement wherever it is possible, because it is very difficult to trace out the way of execution. Because see, if you are writing any real-time application, right, then logging is one of the important functionality. And we use logging functionality to track the code line by line. What happened when this function is executed, or what happens when this statement is executed, and we will check the log sequential. We will open our method and we will open the log and we will compare the statement by statement. But if you are using GoTo, then the execution or the logging is going to be different, right? You cannot identify wow and the order of execution of the method, because the method is not going to be executed sequentially. It's not executing from top to down, right? It is executing from top to down, from bottom to top. Whatever way you are putting the go to statement, in that way it is going to be executed. So you should avoid using the go to statement, because if you are using go to statement, then you cannot trace your program. Trace means you cannot identify. See, if you are developing any real-time application, you might be aware of about nlogger, right? Most of nowadays people are using nlog for logging activity, right? So whenever some exception is thrown, you need to log the exception. When the request comes, that you need to capture. If the request is coming with some data, you need to capture the data. And if you are returning some data, you need to capture the data, what data you are returning, right? Everything you need to log in your logging. So you can log in a database, you can log in a text file, right? It is up to you. So, but logging is important. And if you are developing any application and if you are not implementing the unit testing, if you are not implementing the exception handling mechanism, and if you are not implementing caching mechanism, and if you are not implementing logging mechanism, then you will not get the better output, and you will not get the clarity. Clarity in the sense, suppose on your machine the application is working fine, but when you deploy the code in server, at server the application crash. Then how you will identify where the code is crashed? If you take the DLL, if you work on your machine, it is working fine. So some of the time people are saying it's working on my machine. I don't know why it is not working on server. Then if you want to identify why it is not working on server, you need to trace the code. You need to trace the what happening in the server, and how to trace. Logging is there, exception handling is there. So you need to log what happened when the request come, at what time request come, with what data request come, right? Everything you need to log, and if some error occur, if some runtime error occur, why the runtime error occur, you need to log the stack trace, what is the reason for the log, in which method you are getting the error, in which class you are getting the error, in which controller you are getting the error. Everything you need to log. Logging is important. And if you are using this go-to kind of functionality, then you cannot trace your log.